I'm home from the honeymoon and I want some salami.
Hi there, married girl.
Hello.
Wait a minute. Where's the salami? Topanga, I'm home from the honeymoon. Where's the honeymoon welcome salami? We are moving in here.
He said moving in.
I am equally troubled.
What does he mean by moving in?
Topanga, I packed up all the stuff from your room and I put it right there.
Why would you do that?
Because it was in the way when I moved into the room.
Why would you move into the room?
Because I live here now, and you don't.
You moved into my room?
Probably should have gotten a place before we left.
Well, it's not like we had a lot of time. I mean, between getting married, getting arrested, and then going on our honeymoon.
You know what? This will be better anyway. At least we have your old dorm room to ourselves.
You're right.
No, all wrong.
What's your problem? This is my room.
No, all wrong, Screwy. Here, show them how it's gonna be. Right here. University bylaws forbid any married couple from living in a dorm other than the one designated for married couples.
Maybe we don't have to tell anybody.
Oh, maybe he's right.
Yeah, maybe we don't have to tell anybody.
Too late.
We did.
Yeah, we sent a copy of your marriage certificate
To the office of the university president.
No, you can't live here anymore. Show him again. Show him again.
Right
Put it up
there.
there. See that? See?
How could you do this to us?
Hi, Jack. Hi, Professor Matthews.
No.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to my mommy.
It would only be until they got on their feet.
No.
What do you mean, no? Dad, I'm your son. You don't tell your son no.
No.
Alan,
That's it. We're moving in. You're lucky I even asked you.
Cory, don't make me beat you up in front of your wife.
why didn't you give any thought to where you were going to live?
I was a little busy thinking about the wedding and the honeymoon. Besides, it's not like I've done this before, Mom.
Well, you're gonna have to do it now.
I never asked to be the man in this relationship.
Maybe we should go.
Go where? Where do you go if you don't have your parents?
At least let them stay for a couple of days.
Amy, don't.
Don't you put your finger out at me, and don't you tell me don't.
Mom's revved up. Go get the luggage.
These are my children, too. And if I want them to stay here, they can stay here.
Amy, they can't stay here. They're married now. It's Cory and Topanga, not Cory and us. Remember?
You can't stay here, Cory.
Well, we have very good news for you.
Mike and Debbie Pfefferman had a fight.
He criticized your salad, so she shot him.
Why is this good news?
Because she's gonna do time and the dorm's gonna be available.
And those married dorms have got to be great. You know how married people live? Sophisticated. Very posh.
Ah, you hear that, Topanga? Posh.
It's nice.
Cory, I told you I can't help you with this.
Dad, I'm not asking you to help me, okay? This isn't about me, this is about Topanga. Now, the minute I married her, she became more important than me. She became more important than anything.
I'm glad you realize that.
And I know that Mom is more important to you than anything, right?
Right, she is. And you are as well, and so is Topanga.
Okay, good. I'm glad you feel that way, because the last talk we had, I didn't get that from you, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate your coming around.
Cory, I'm not coming around. I can't help you the way you want me to, and I'm not going to.
Hey! We're drowning here.
You are not drowning.
Well, what do you call living in an awful dorm with no money and the washing machine's broken in the laundry room and there's some kind of soup coming out of the faucet?
Marriage, I call it. Marriage.
Okay, well it's hard, okay? It's just hard, Dad.
And you want me to make it not so hard.
You're supposed to do that for me.
I can't.
Well, then what good are you?
Hey! You made a choice. You decided that you were old enough to get married. You decided to take on the responsibility of a new life because you believed you could handle it. And this family supported that decision after we told you that it was going to be very difficult. What, did you think we were kidding? Did you go into this marriage thinking you were just going to play house and we were going to bail you out of trouble? Cory, this is your life. Deal with your life.
All you had to say was no.
Look, first of all, I'm going to start at the end, okay? Where Cory says all you had to do was say no. He said no. He said no once and twice. And before the last meeting, Father said no, okay? Here's what happens. I know when newlyweds, especially when they're young, they're in college. They just feel, okay, you know, love will conquer all. And if not, hey, we have our parents. And now here's where I differ kind of. If my son is struggling and he marries young, I'll give him like a month, 2 tops. But after that, you're going to have to figure it out, okay? I'm not going to make it easy on you. Be lucky that I'm taking mercy, all right? But I get the dad's side where he says, hey, it's you and Topanga, all right? That's how it's supposed to be. And he told them, we let you know before you got married that it was gonna be tough. Dad said that. I'm sure Mom chimed in as well. I wasn't sure Mom was gonna allow them to go in because Mom did grab the finger when they were having that conversation. But that's why here in Marriage Pros, I know I've said it before, that it's best if you get yourself together first. If you got a girlfriend along the way, great. Hopefully both of you could be on the same page and realize, you know, let's get ourselves to get okay. If you're in college, how about you graduate college? How about you get yourself in the career and use that degree before you even talk about marriage, okay? How about both of you be settled, be in a position to where you're not going to struggle as much when it comes to money, having a place, being together, and find yourself not in a position to drown, as Cory said, which he really wasn't. Was it ideal situations, especially when they got that dorm? No. So now he's realizing, along with Topanga, that their road is going to be rough. It's going to be full of bumps along the way. But you have to be a parent, and hopefully you let your kids know that, all right? Do all these things first. It's worth the wait. Trust us, in the long run. I had my first marriage in my early 20s. I didn't have myself together, hence why I ended in divorce. Because I didn't know who I was. I was leaning too much on her, and she didn't want that, all right? She knew that I was not ready, so she broke it off, which is fine. My next marriage, my second one, which is the one I'm in now, it didn't happen till I was I was 30. But I had myself together. I had a career. And I knew who I was by that point. It does make a difference, somebody. Please, take it from me. Have your shit together. Do not feel like, well, quite frankly, don't feel like even this person at that time as a teenager, that this is the only person for you, number one. I'll be glad that it is the love of your life, so be it. But take that path together. There's no rush to get married, especially if you love each other. You're going to be there at the end of it, right? Both of you, together. Take your time. Trust us, it's worth it.
I look at this from a completely different lens. I look at it as bad parenting on Cory's parents. So I say that to say this. I tell my daughter all the time, we are preparing you to live on your own. So everything we're having you do, all the chores, all the cleaning, everything is to live on your own. So I think for me, the parents did a bad job in raising Cory, thinking he can come back home after getting married and had no plan. I don't understand why they didn't have a plan of where they were going to live before you're getting married. And on the show, Topanga is smart, from what I remember. Why wasn't this brought up? I don't understand that. Did you speak to your roommates saying that we're going to come back and live here? Was there any type of discussion of that matter? I look at it as you need to have your ducks in a row, not just think about the wedding, the honeymoon, all the good stuff that comes with being married. Think about all the extra stuff, all the finances, where you're gonna live, all that type of stuff. It's like, cause you're not happy because you're giving your wife this crappy apartment just to survive. Now me, if my kids are going through it that bad, they shouldn't, because I would raise them better than that. But if they felt on hard times where they need to come back and stay with us, they will. Spouse and all, especially if I like them. But, I just feel it was bad parenting. Because, like, if you would have prepared your child better, they wouldn't be in that situation that they're in right now. Trying to find a place to stay, getting kicked out of everywhere that they were living at. So I look at it just bad parenting.
And by the way, somebodies, here's some trivia from Boy Meets World. I just found this out myself when I cut this clip. Sean's girlfriend, Angela, in real life, Trina McGee, she is at least 10 years older than the entire cast. She is 55 right now, while the rest of them are in their mid-40s. So that just blew me away, because I had a crush on her, but I didn't know she was my elder that much. So that just blew my mind. But she looked good, she could play the part, but wow. Okay, I crush on an older woman. What am I gonna say?
I knew that. I knew she was older. Yeah, I knew she was older. I think also the cast didn't treat her right as well. It was a race thing.